A disregard for the rule of law. Gbajabiamila fires Buhari over Naira swap. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. To get notified when we post hot juicy news update, please click on the notification bell. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has criticized President Muhammadu Buhari over his morning broadcast on Thursday over the controversial Naira swap policy. Gbajabiamila registered his disapproval of the President directive that only the old 200 Naira notes should be distributed by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) alongside the new notes. The Speaker clarified that the Supreme Court had ordered the old 1,000 Naira and 500 Naira notes remain legal tender, stating that it is not to benefit of our country. It is not to the benefit of our country for the federal government to act in ways that suggest a wanton disregard for the rule of law. The Speaker, in a statement issued on Thursday, which he personally signed, said, and I quote, "Today, citizens and visitors are experiencing grave and unnecessary hardship across our country. They spend hours and days queuing at banks and teller machines to receive stipends of their own money to afford life necessities. This situation is a consequence of the flawed implementation of the Naira redesign policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It is also the result of decision made by the Central Bank's governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, to refuse counsel be guided by precedent or abide by the decisions of Superior Court. Section 23 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007 provides a statutory authority for the Central Bank of Nigeria to initiate and implement policies for the recall of Nigerian currency. The extent provision is reduced below, notwithstanding subsections 1 and 2 of this section. The bank shall have power, if directed to do so, by the President and after giving reasonable notice in that behalf, to call in any of its notes or coin on payment of the face value thereof, and any note or coin with respect to which a notice has been given under this subsection shall on the expiration of such notice cease to be legal tender. Was subject to Section 22 of this Act shall be redeemed by the bank upon demand. Whereas reasonable people may disagree as to whether sufficient notice was given for the implementation of this policy, it is evident that the Central Bank of Nigeria has failed woefully in its statutory obligation to pay the face value of the recalled currency in the form that is useful to the citizens whose current suffering could have been avoided, he stated. The statement continued, "It is unclear what interest is served by persisting in this erroneous course towards an unfolding economic disaster that a country cannot afford. The ongoing devastation of livelihoods is bound to have consequences long after this moment has passed. It is disheartening that the Central Bank of Nigeria has resolutely refused to admit error and change course in the face of mounting evidence that the implementation of this policy has been a devastating failure. It is deeply troubling that neither the intervention of a National Council of State nor another of a Supreme Court is sufficient to cause the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to review the decisions that have brought us to this entirely avoidable moment." This morning, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, announced that he has authorized the Central Bank of Nigeria to reintroduce the old 200 Naira note into circulation, pending when the bank can make sufficient amounts of a new currency available. This is a step in the right direction, and I hope it helps curb Nigeria's suffering. However, the decision still falls short of the order of the Supreme Court that the old currencies remain legal tender pending the adjudication of a pending suit brought by state government on the legality of the policy and its implementation. It is not to the benefit of our country for the federal government to act in ways that suggest a wanton disregard for the rule of law. It will be better for us to strictly adhere to the court's order in this matter pending the adjudication of the substantive suit. Now, the issue I am having with many of these people is Do you know all those times that Nigerians were crying? All those times we'll be complaining over issues, policies. You go be like, say, na we dey talk pass. These people go look us finish, tell us, say, we did tell Buhari, say, no, they try. All those people, majority of all those people, Gbajabiamila, I don't think that these people ever in their lives saw this thing coming. As far as seeing a poor man, now they suffer. Poor man go manage. Nigerians are very adaptive people. That is what they'll say within themselves. They are going to be fine. And then they continue with whatever they're doing as far as it no affects them. But this one way, don't they touch them so? Now they won't use Nigerians as shield. They won't use us sets as stable so that they're going to drink, but it no go work for them. You see, everybody right there inside so. As everybody they feel them, nine good pass. As everybody they feel them from left, right, center, nine be the best. You know, I keep saying that, you see, the fact that these things are happening pre-election should say a lot. This particular election coming is an election of a century. An election will be say, we're supposed to tag mother of all the elections we have been doing for the past 63 years. I am telling you, the effect of this election will shake everywhere. That is why, if you have never been serious, if you have never ever voted, and you have a PVC now, please don't joke with it. If you have never ever voted rightly, I beg, this is the time you have to. We don't have any choice. I've said it before. These people are not going to give you restructuring. Restructuring is not going to favor these politicians. Yes. So anybody that is talking about restructuring, it's just the whine now. If they talk about restructuring, they look at them. They are not also going to give anybody referendum. The Yoruba nation and the Biafra nation that is asking for referendum, they do not have any plans of listening to them. The only thing you have is this election. That is why we must do our very best. This one is not a matter of, voting somebody there because the person is a king's man. This is a matter of, this is a fight for your life and for your children. Make sure you fight it right, so that you can proudly tell your sons and daughters, tell them, or your child or children, that look, 2023 elections, the election that made the world quick, make everybody's attention on Nigeria. I voted, I did the right thing, and at the end of the day, we were smiling, so that we are going to be reaping rewards and not enduring consequences. Alright, on this note, you have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.